Okay, a lot of people has been asking me this, family members mostly, about when you're gonna see that Mortal Kombat webisode, the Mortal Kombat Legacy. When you're gonna start seeing it, when you're gonna start rating it. Do you think it's awesome? Do you think it's great? Look, I gave it up on Mortal Kombat movies after two. I thought one was not as good as I wanted it to be, but it was as close enough to an arcade video game that I ever going to see. And two, it was mostly hit and miss with me as well. But I didn't think they were ever going to make another Mortal Kombat movie. They're now thinking about doing it now, especially with this huge success of the Mortal Kombat Legacy, the webisode that premiered exclusively on YouTube. It was a multi-part series, and people said you got to see it, you have to see it, you got to give your own take on it. So I said fine. I track it down. I watched the whole entire thing, episode to episode. So now I'm gonna give you my feel on this thing that seemed to have sparked a huge following. First off, do I think it's any good, any bad, any is it terrible? Is it horrible? Is it a masterpiece? I will say this: there were some episodes I liked, but there was also some episodes I did not like. It's pretty much a mixed bag for me. And I say this because a lot of the episodes pretty much stand on their own. They're not really connected to each other. I will have to say one of my better episodes was the Sonya and Jax episode. I actually thought they were very, very well done. We had a very good origin story there with Sonya, why she has this certain hatred for this character. I can't get the hell is his name. Kano, thank you. There's a very, very strong hatred between that. It has a lot to do with Jax and what he had done to save her, because it really went down. Those first two episodes, I ain't gonna lie, it really got me into it. But there were episodes there I didn't like. I did not like how they betrayed Raiden. Raiden to me have always been this immortal aura who fights alongside humans, and they made him seem to be more viable in that whole entire series. I really have. I was disappointed how they handled that one. They could have done a better job with Raiden. I really do. As for the other characters, the Sub-Zero Scorpion thing, I'm going to tell you, that was pretty good. I was impressed by that, because we now know why he's bent on revenge and why he is what he is. Actually, he's being set up to become what he became pretty much in the video game. So I liked that. I actually thought the Katana story with her twin sister or clone in this series was okay. I'm not gonna lie. There were some things that bored me with this, and it's not the language at all. I had no problem with the way they did the language, but I kind of felt they could have done it better. They could have really explored that, especially since it was a two-parter with that story. They could have done a better job with that. I really thought that was as close. Johnny Cage. You know, Johnny Cage story arc was actually fine. I thought I actually picture him the way they portrayed him. He was an arrogant guy, down his luck, couldn't get a movie deal. He found out he was actually being used because he actually gave them ideas, and they took his ideas and tried to turn it to their own and gave it to another star who they felt was more dramatic and had more of the star power that they have. I thought that was pretty good. I thought they did a well done job on that. It's too bad I didn't see more of that. I thought they rushed his storyline a little bit, and that was the main thing about it. I think some of the storylines, although they were very carefully, handled well with the first two episodes, a lot of other stuff, I felt that was rushed, and I felt they didn't put enough treatment into it. Like I said, the Raiden story, very disappointed about that. I was very, very disappointed. He's one of my favorite characters. When I saw the first one, I thought Mr. Highlander himself did a very good job of portraying that mystical aura that is Raiden. And in this one, I think they really, dropped the ball on that. I mean, they made him as the weaker character, and he's really not the weakest of the character of this series. So I was a little bit very, very disappointed. Another thing I would find it very interesting, I even know from judging from the first 2 episodes, they really wasn't in Mortal Kombat yet. They were actually just telling the story of how they got involved in Mortal Kombat. What was their main motivation? Most of them was revenge, most of them for honor. Others just wanted to destroy the world. And pretty much you're starting to see the origin of all these characters, and it's being thrown to one. And I thought that was kind of good. They did that. I thought it was very good. I wanted to see how these characters came to be. And for the most part, I will say they did a good job for those who actually had a true origin story. Again, the Scorpion, with the death of his family at the hands of Sub-Zero, was well done. I actually thought that was brilliant. It sets up a beautiful rivalry, and it sets up an agenda for him to participate in the Mortal Kombat tournament. However, is this a great series? In my opinion, it's not great. It's not. I don't consider it a masterpiece. But for what it's worth, for what I got, I liked it. At least some of the stuff that I seen, I think it's kind of good. Especially for those who are true fans of the games and who have seen the movies, who really don't like, or who really are into Mortal Kombat. I think they will like this a lot more than those who aren't true fans of the series, who haven't really followed the video games or the movies. They probably will not like this as much as a diehard fan. I think this is for just diehard fans only, and I think for what it's worth, I think the fans of this series will pretty much be satisfied. I know a lot of people didn't like Sonya. And look, I thought she was just fine. I thought she portrayed Sonya perfectly fine. Hey, I liked her in 7 and 9. I thought she was great in Star Trek Voyager, and I actually thought she did a very good job playing this particular character as well. So I had no problem with her doing that. And like I said, the star power was very, very solid. I thought everybody did their job acting-wise very good. But like I said, my beef is that while some episode was strong, there were others that felt rushed, that wasn't really giving more attention to character development, and that was pretty much the true weakness of this webisode. So I know they're working on a movie. They're going to try and bring the series back, and even though I'm very, very strict on some films to be remade, I think they have a chance of doing it fine this time around. I think they can actually get it right. As long as they stick to the story, and as long as they don't make this into a teenage movie, they have to keep in mind. That's one of the things I had a beef with the two Mortal Kombat. They try to make this to where they can make it seem to everybody. Make this the way it's supposed to make it. Make it hardcore. Make it rated R. Make it for older audience, mature audiences. Don't try and sanitize what shouldn't be sanitized. So if that's my only feedback towards the studios who are working on it. But for what it's worth, this is pretty much a good Mortal Kombat series. I thought this was a very good webisodes. It gets a 3 stars for me. But I will say that I don't think too many people who hasn't followed the games or saw the other two movies or anything that's related to Mortal Kombat will like this series. It really is pretty much isolated to the fans and the fans only. Well, that's my opinion on the Mortal Kombat Legacy. You guys can leave your comments and tell me what you like or didn't like about the series. Until then, this is J77 signing off. Okay, sorry guys, I almost forgot to mention Sector and Cyrex was in this origin story too. They showed their development, and they showed how they became what they became. Not very happy about that scene. I think it was the very last scene of the very last episode, but it was also not very memorable. So that's probably why I didn't mention it. But like I said, they were there. It seemed like they had a relationship before, and that relationship pretty much was the real reason why they got into the program. And they became what they became. Some of the fight scenes in that was okay, but it's pretty much forgettable. But overall, still pretty good. Still a pretty good series. Sorry I didn't mention earlier, but like I said, that was pretty much not something not my favorite episode. But in any case, you guys take care.